Avatar is directed by James Cameron. It stars Zoe Saldana, Sam Worthington, and Sigourney Weaver. And in the highest grossing movie ever made, a paraplegic called Jake transfers minds into a weird creature and he joins their tribe, learns their ways, learns their language, and he must decide where his loyalties lie. With these weird creatures or with the humans. Now, if you couldn't tell by now, the reason I'm reviewing this is because the new Avatar. 13 years we've waited for this film, I know. And there's probably going to be about 20 million other sequels on its way. Let's just focus on this one, though. But yeah, today we're reviewing the first Avatar from 2009. The highest grossing movie ever made, nearly making $3 billion worldwide. No one's ever done that before. There's only a few other movies that have even reached the $2 billion mark. Now, if you watched my Roderick Rules review, you'll know that last night, as of recording this, was my first ever time watching Avatar. I've seen bits of it, but I never really watched the whole movie. And last night was my first time. So, do I think that this is worthy of the highest grossing movie ever?
No.
I'm not saying this movie is bad by any means. I actually do think this movie is fairly good. I don't think it's great. It does still have, though, a lot of problems. The only reason this movie is the highest grossing movie is because of its timeless special effects. And yes, the special effects in this are some of the best I've ever seen. This is one of the most visually beautiful movies ever. And it's going to be hard for Way of the Water to top this because these effects were very historical. No one ever did something like this before. And it worked very well here. It looks absolutely amazing. Just the cinematography and the direction. You could look at this movie and just be in awe about how beautiful it looks. Pandora looks like a world that you just want to travel in. It looks beautiful, even though it does seem pretty dangerous. But as I said, visually it's great. Acting-wise as well, there's some good performances in here. Sam Worthington is a really good actor, and really think he's a bit underrated. And I think he does a pretty good job here. Sigourney Weaver from my favourite horror film, Alien. Yeah, she's great in this as well. Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington have some chemistry there. I don't think their romance is great. I feel it was a bit shoved in and cliche, but for the most part it was working for me. And surprisingly enough, this movie is actually paced very well. This is nearly a 3-hour movie. The new movie is going to be over 3 hours, so let's pray it don't feel like 20 years with that film. But I only felt like I was sitting in this chair for 2 hours yesterday. I think this movie was paced very well. I don't think it's boring by any means. I did find some entertainment every time the movie showed a different scene. So I don't think it was boring at all, and I thought it actually moved quite a nice pace for me. But the story is incredibly basic, and this is where I'm going to get into my harsh criticisms, if you may say. Yeah, this story is cliche and predictable. You've seen it so many times. A guy goes to a native tribe, he learns their way of life, he falls in love with the forest, he learns their language, learns their skills, he eventually becomes part of their tribe and accepted. And then the other people that he works for attack the tribe and they kill him, and he has to see where his loyalties lie. And then his loyalties lie with the tribe, and he saves them and takes over the land or whatever. You've seen this movie so many times, and it's incredibly cliche in this. Everything is so expected. I was predicting things, and they happened. I'm not saying you don't care about the characters. You do care about the characters, but I don't know. It's just very cliche that it just struggles to get me invested fully in what's happening. We've seen this similar sort of story in a more recent movie, Wakanda Forever. And while that movie did have a bit of an over-the-top villain, I can at least understand why he would go to war with Wakanda. The thing is, with this villain, who is just a random Navy general or Marine, I don't know what type of US Army thing this is, but he's so cliche. Oh, the natives, the savages, they're going to kill us all, when realistically, they're just trying to keep the peace. And that's his motivation. He's totally unscary, he's not compelling at all. I didn't feel him as a big threat, even though they were killing loads of the avatars. But I can at least say that the story's action is actually done very well. There is some nice pieces of the story here. As I said, the action, I thought that was very tense sometimes. I did actually feel kind of scared for the avatars when the huge army was just blowing up the home tree and stuff. That was some very scary stuff. I actually thought that some of our main characters could die, like the father. There were some good scenes in this, only when the action was going. But for the quiet moments, I just didn't really get invested much, really. Avatar for me is just a very cliche but visually stunning film. Some solid acting. It's paced very well as well. But I just don't see why, apart from the special effects, why this is the highest grossing movie ever. It's fun enough, it's watchable, it's cliche, but as I said, it's watchable. You can enjoy it for what it is. But I just don't think this is the huge cinematic experience, apart from the special effects, that I felt this movie could be. So Avatar for me is a little disappointing because I was expecting a lot more on the story side of things. So for me, it's going to get a 6.5 out of 10. I don't think this movie is anything great, but it is a lot of fun and it's watchable. I wouldn't be too harsh to not watch it again. But guys, that is it for the end of this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Next time it's Way of the Water time. Hope you all enjoy that. Don't think there's going to be a video this Friday, unless I think of something before then. But as for now, there's not going to be a video until next Tuesday. But overall, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave your thoughts on Avatar in the comments, and let me know if you're excited for the new Avatar movie. I'm kind of looking forward to it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and see you later.